Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today I'm going to talk about how a traveling book salesman in 1886 changed the course of skincare forever. I don't know if you've ever heard the story of Avon, but it's actually a pretty amazing story. So I thought I'd share it with you today. So it was the 1800s. I mean, seriously, think Little House on the Prairie days. Can you even imagine? You remember that show? That's like what this is the same time frame, right? Exactly the same time frame. Little House on the Prairie. And there was a man named David H. McConnell, and he was a traveling book salesman in New York, in New Jersey, I think actually. And he was pretty innovative. I mean, he had come up with some pretty amazing ideas and was a pretty smart man. And he made his living going door to door selling books. And then so he decided he got this idea, right? And he made up these perfume samples. And hi Pamela, good to see you. So he made up these perfume samples. I mean, he just made them up and it was just an idea he came up with. And he started giving out the perfume samples as a way to get his foot in the door and to entice women to buy his books. And before long, he started noticing that the women loved the perfume samples more than they loved the books. So, he was a smart man. And so he says to himself, oh, well, maybe I need to be selling perfume. This is where the market is. Look at these women. They're all going crazy over it, right? And so he started the California Perfume Company. And I don't know why he named it California since he was in New York City, but California Perfume Company got started. And the year was 1886. And so David H. McConnell felt that women were a vastly undertapped resource. He was a man way ahead of his time back then. And I mean, he saw women as, I mean, think about it. I mean, there was nothing for women back then. If a woman held a job at all, maybe it was an occasional teacher, right? Or maybe if they had a job, it was as a maid or a housekeeper, and maybe there was a few that worked in the store, the few stores that there were back then. I mean, there wasn't even, it was like most of the time, even the stores, it was like in Little House on the Prairie, it was the owner who worked the store, right? But there just wasn't a lot happening for women back then. And David saw the potential for women, both as customers and as workers. And so it was 1886 when he hired Mrs. P.F.E. Albee, and she became the very first representative for this California Perfume Company. Her name was actually Persis Foster Eames Albee, but she went by P.F.E. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Pamela. Good to see you. So, because it's warm and sunny. Oh, California. There you go, because it's warm and sunny. Awesome. So, he not only did he hire her as a saleswoman, he also gave her the power and the ability to start her own business. In the 1800s, can you believe this? And so PFE quickly recruited a whole team of housewives from all the different communities around the area, all the little towns, there was a town here, a town there, a town there. They were pretty spread out. So she went around and traveled around these towns, and she recruited a whole team of housewives. And then David would ship these perfumes to them, and they would sell in their areas. Kind of sounds like the Avon lady in the 50s, right? I mean, so that's kind of how it was. But then it kept growing. And then Mrs. P.F.E. Albee became the first traveling Avon sales representative. She carried a little suitcase, and she went on the train and on the stagecoach. Remember, this is Little House on the Prairie times, right? It was just amazing. In fact, it was 50 years before women could even vote. David gave her the opportunity to build a business and build a sales team and create earnings opportunities for women. Powerful, huh? The first product was a little perfume called Little Dot Perfume. And then the product line was quickly expanded to include other perfumes, and then it expanded to makeup and bath products. And in 1896, the first skincare product was launched. It was Witch Hazel. And I'm sure you're all familiar with that. That was an Avon product in 1896. That was our first skincare product. And then in 1928, David visited William Shakespeare's home at Stratford-on-Avon in England, right? And he fell in love with that area. He fell in love with that town. And so he started branding products under the Avon name. And then a couple of years later, the company name was officially changed to Avon. And so this man was a visionary. It's pretty amazing what he did, seriously, when you think about it. I mean, he gives women the ability to create their own income, to be self sufficient, to use their talents and abilities that back then people didn't even acknowledge that women had a brain, right? I mean, he allowed them to start their own business. He allowed them to recruit other representatives to work with them. I mean, he he kind of started the direct sales model back in the 1800s, you know? And so Avon continued to grow and flourish. Eventually he died and his son took over, and then eventually it became a big public company and all that. But Avon has been cutting edge from the very beginning. In 1961, Avon launched Skin So Soft. We all know that product, right? It's a product that's still known and still loved to this day. In 1990, we were the very first company to bring alpha hydroxy acid technology to the mass market. I mean, before then, it was only available in doctors' offices. You couldn't put it in a skincare, right? And not only had Avon had a way to put it into the products, but they made it so it could work. And that was the Anew line that we have now. That was, that's when the Anew line launched. And so that was in 1990 when the Anew skincare treatments were launched. And then we were the first to bring retinol in a way that could be used in a skincare line. And then we continued to innovate many, many, many other cutting edge products and technologies. It's amazing to me because all through the years I've been with Avon, I've watched Avon come out with new technology and new products. And it seems like we come out with it and then all of a sudden all the other companies are advertising it. But Avon's the one that came up with it, So it was also in the 1990s that Avon started the breast cancer crusade, and has put millions and millions of dollars into women and breast health and research and treatments. And then last year in 2019, Avon was sold to LG Home and Health. Yeah, the Korean company that makes phones and TVs and refrigerators. So you know who I'm talking about, right? They also have the number one selling beauty products in the world. And so it was a perfect match. Pamela says, isn't that ironic? Women have brains. I verified I had one through a CT scan. Yeah, yeah. And David McConnell figured that out, huh? Powerful. So anyway, it was a perfect match that Avon and LG came together, right? And the Avon products that you know and love, they're not going anywhere. We still have Skin So Soft and Anew and all the products you already love. But now with LG purchase, now we're coming out with so many more cutting edge products to complement those. And all of these are filled with more natural, good for you ingredients that make you look amazing. And so now we have the Face Shop. We have, super luxurious formulas, top trends, cutting edge technology. And with that comes the cushion technology, which I love, love, love. It's like a stamp. It's a liquid that's put into a compact, and it's like a stamp. It's like a little sponge. It's a applicator or whatever you call it that you just dip in there and you just pat it like a stamp on your face, and it delivers that liquid formula, and it's easier to apply, and it gives you a more natural look compared to a lot of liquid foundations. And we have that cushion technology now in foundations and in blush and in highlighters and in bronzers. We also have a full line of Belief products, which uses only rare, carefully selected herbs that have been used since ancient times to promote health and healing. We have rice water products, which comes from the milky white water that comes from rinsing rice. And we have products made with Sika, which is a grass that tigers roll around in to heal their wounds. And we even just recently launched a new product, Mission LuxRev, which is a luxurious Japanese skincare line that's full of natural plant ingredients that are harvested over 4 seasons and then fermented for a full another year to achieve maximum efficacy and to promote the look of smooth, radiant skin. And so many more technologies. I can't even get into all of them here. And we're expanding into household products and more personal care products. It's just amazing. So the story of Avon is really powerful, really. I mean, when you think about it, I am so proud to be associated with a company like that, because look at what Avon has done for women over all these years. I mean, back then when women didn't even have rights, they didn't have the ability to run their own lives. they couldn't own property, or had to have a husband that had to be run their life for them. They couldn't really work jobs. They couldn't even vote. I mean, women were just wives and mothers, I guess. I mean, not that that's bad. Of course, it's good to be a woman. I mean, a wife and a mother, but women just didn't have the ability to make that decision for themselves, what they wanted to be and what they wanted to do, and use their brains, right? And so, as women, we've come a long way, and Avon's been a huge part of that. So, anyway, that's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're interested in joining me to sell Avon or maybe purchasing Avon, you'll find my links in my bio. Um, I just am so proud to be with this company. Anyway, thanks for being here with me today. Thank you, Pamela and Don, for being live with me, and anyone else who might be live that just hasn't commented, and anyone who's watching the replay. I appreciate you. So go out there and have an amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.